Ivanka Trump has been using social media to share her fitness journey, motivating many with her commitment to her New Year's resolution. Focusing on strength training, she offers a glimpse into her disciplined approach to maintaining a strong, healthy lifestyle. New Year's resolutions are often seen as fleeting promises, goals we make with good intentions but fail to uphold. Every January, millions vow for a fresh start, only to fall off track within days or weeks. But Ivanka Trump, daughter of US President Donald Trump, seems to be sticking to hers. Yesterday, Ivanka took to social media platform X to share a photo of herself at the gym, showing off her workout-ready physique. The post quickly went viral, garnering over 1.7 million views. She wore a white sports bra, blue athletic shorts, and white sneakers, accessorized with black gym gloves and earbuds. With her blonde hair pulled back and a fresh, makeup-free face, she radiated an empowering sense of motivation. Ivanka wrote, "Sticking to New Year's resolutions isn't easy. Only 23% of people make it past the first week. I've fallen into that category many times. But every day is a new opportunity to show up and stay committed. Feeling stronger and more motivated as February begins. Let's keep going. Strong body, strong mind." The post received an outpouring of praise in the comments, with many fans thanking Ivanka for inspiring them. One commenter wrote, "So true, it's all your mindset, keep up the great work," while another said, "You are aging in reverse." While Ivanka's current fitness dedication may seem like second nature, she has been open about her past. In her 20s, she admitted to eating carbs multiple times a day, indulging in pasta and pizza rather than a balanced diet. But becoming a mother shifted her perspective, and now, a decade later, she is in the best shape of her life. Ivanka follows a structured fitness routine centered around strength training, according to her trainer Sandy Brockman. Ivanka lifts weights 4 times a week, occasionally mixing in a yoga session for balance. Her routine includes 5 key exercises: deadlifts, back squats, hinges, presses, and pull-ups, with adjustments to the weight based on her specific fitness goals. Sandy Brockman, a Texas-based trainer, praised Ivanka's disciplined approach to strength training, calling it both empowering and consistent. Ivanka herself has shared that her regimen also includes yoga, Pilates, and cardio. In a recent appearance on the Skinny Confidential Him and Her podcast, Ivanka stressed the importance of combining resistance training with a high-protein diet. She also revealed that her day starts at 5:30 a.m. with daily meditation and a focus on hydration, drinking what she described as an excessive amount of water. However, Ivanka's fitness journey wasn't always this way. In her 20s, she openly admitted to indulging in carbs 3 times a day, usually in the form of pasta or pizza, rather than following a healthy diet. Her perspective shifted dramatically after becoming a mother. Ivanka recently shared that for years, she practiced yoga, cardio, and Pilates, but didn't see the results she hoped for, revealing that her fitness journey wasn't as straightforward as it may seem. The turning point came when she focused on weightlifting and resistance training, which led to a noticeable change. Now deeply committed to her health, Ivanka works out 4 days a week and ensures that every meal includes 30 to 40 grams of protein. She discussed this approach during an appearance on the Skinny Confidential Him and Her podcast last week, stating, "It's that pairing of protein and resistance training and weightlifting." She continued, "For a while I was doing weightlifting but wasn't consuming nearly enough protein, and I wasn't seeing the change. It's when I combined those 2 things that I started noticing a difference." Ivanka's day starts at 5:30 a.m., followed by meditation and drinking an excessive amount of water. Despite her dedication, Ivanka admitted that she occasionally veers off her diet. She enjoys stews, sausage, noodles, and anything that involves melted cheese. Ivanka Ivanka Trump, the daughter of President Donald Trump, visited Altadena and Los Angeles on Tuesday, Jan 28, in a visit that organizers emphasized was outside the political spotlight. Christopher Spoler, lead pastor of Expressions Church in Altadena, explained that the visit was arranged just 72 hours prior, with the aim of allowing Trump to meet with church members and families affected by the wildfires that have claimed at least 27 lives and destroyed over 12,000 homes and buildings. "We were told she wanted to come without any media attention and that the goal wasn't political at all," Spoler said. "We wouldn't have been comfortable if it had been politicized." Expressions Church, which had only been open for about 40 days before the Eaton fire devastated its rented two-story building in Pasadena, welcomed Trump to its new location at the former Foothills Community Church site at 2540 E Orange Grove Boulevard in Pasadena. The church is set to begin holding services there on Sunday, February 9. The visit, Spolar said, was successful. Ivanka Trump helped distribute bags of cleaning and hygiene supplies to some of the 12 families who lost their homes in the Eaton fire. The church has committed to continuing its support of those families. "It felt like a ministry of presence for her," Spoler said. "She showed care for the families, support for the church, and made it clear that she sees us." The visit was organized by the non-profit City Serve, a faith-based network that trains churches and community members in disaster response. In addition to the Altadena stop, Trump also visited the LA Dream Center in Los Angeles to help distribute relief supplies to families affected by the Palisades wildfire. Chrissy Cochran, a spokesperson for City Serve, reported that more than 400 cars went through the distribution line in Altadena. City Serve partners with local churches because they are there before, during, and after a crisis, Cochran said. Churches provide not just immediate aid, but long-term hope, helping to rebuild communities long after the headlines fade. Other groups that contributed included Fearless Church in Los Angeles and Love Has No Limits in Dana Point, who helped gather essentials like water, shoes, diapers, and produce. "Many of the families Ivanka assisted have lost everything," said Dave Donaldson, co-founder of City Serve. "Their needs are urgent." Ivanka showed tremendous empathy, listening to their stories, and spent hours encouraging volunteers and first responders while distributing supplies. Spoler added that Trump also took time to meet with and thank firefighters from Station 11. "I think what people took away from it was the feeling of being seen in their need, knowing they weren't alone, and that others care," Spoler said. "Our hope is that ultimately they'll feel that God sees them and will work through all kinds of people." Trump's visit came just days after her father, President Donald Trump, toured wildfire damage in the Pacific Palisades, though he did not visit Altadena or Pasadena during that trip. Ivanka Trump has offered a glimpse into her luxurious private gym while showing off her impressive physique during a workout at her $24 million Miami mansion. The 43-year-old mother of three posted a mirror selfie on Instagram from her sleek exercise room, flaunting her toned abs in a white sports bra and blue athletic shorts. In the caption, Ivanka, who recently revealed her decision to stay in Miami instead of joining her father Donald Trump's new administration, shared that she is feeling stronger and more motivated as the new month begins. Her post also gave followers a sneak peek into her lavish home gym, which features a collection of dumbbells, a weightlifting bench, a yoga mat, an elegant sauna, and a modern shower. In addition to sharing her workout update, Ivanka included an inspiring message. "Sticking to New Year's resolutions isn't easy. Only 23% of people make it past the first week. I've fallen into that category many times. But every day is a new opportunity to show up and stay committed. Feeling stronger and more motivated as February begins. Let's keep going. Strong body, strong mind." Ivanka's post comes just days after her personal trainer, Sandy Brockman, shared tips with Realtor.com on how to create an effective home gym. Brockman emphasized that working out at home can be more efficient than hitting a public gym, pointing out that all you need are a few basic pieces of equipment like dumbbells, a yoga mat, and workout bands. For those more advanced in their fitness journey, she suggests adding a rowing machine or treadmill for cardio. The key benefit of a home workout, according to Brockman, is consistency. You'll actually do it. It's right there, so there are no excuses, she said. Brockman also encourages clients to build private home gyms so they can easily squeeze in a workout, advice Ivanka surely benefited from while designing her sprawling $24 million mansion on Indian Creek Island with her husband, Jared Kushner. Ivanka and Jared purchased the 6-bedroom, 8.5 bathroom estate in April 2021 and immediately began a massive renovation, transforming the property into a modern marvel. The couple gutted the original home and rebuilt it into one of the most sought-after properties in the exclusive Billionaire Bunker neighborhood, home to a handful of the world's wealthiest individuals. The renovation took over 2 years, and Ivanka celebrated her birthday at the mansion just weeks before the overhaul was finished in November 2023. The couple secured a $15 million mortgage for the home, which boasts a private boat dock and breathtaking views of Biscayne Bay. They bought the estate from billionaire Alex Meruelo and his wife, Lisette Meruelo. Nestled in an exclusive gated community, alongside notable neighbors like Tom Brady and Jeff Bezos, the property was originally listed as a magnificent, remodeled neoclassical masterpiece. However, Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner's vision for the estate has transformed much of its former neoclassical appeal, replacing it with a modern and lavish design. The exterior has been revamped with a bright white coat of paint, and sleek black trim now takes the place of the former wooden accents. Inside, glimpses shared by Ivanka on Instagram reveal a stylish industrial vibe that departs from the home's original classic design. Despite these updates, the home still retains key structural elements, such as the impressive 26-foot-high ceilings, expansive open living areas, and a stunning double staircase. The couple also chose to keep the striking water feature at the front, while the backyard underwent an upgrade that included reinstalling the swimming pool. Property plans from Miami-Dade County reveal further upgrades, such as a chef's kitchen adjacent to the dining room and a luxurious primary suite with dual closets and an elegant spa bathroom. The pool cabana was also redesigned, now featuring a sauna, steam room, and cold plunge pool. Designed with entertaining in mind, the couple has already hosted several events since moving in late 2023. Ivanka's transition to a laid-back Florida lifestyle marks a shift from her former role in Washington, D.C., where she was deeply involved in her father's administration and had her own office in the West Wing. She has expressed that she left D.C. to shield her children from the darkness of politics, admitting during an appearance on the Skinny Confidential podcast that she hates politics and the negativity that surrounds it. Ivanka explained that stepping away from her father's campaign was a decision made for her children's sake. "The main reason I am not going back to serve now is I know the cost," Ivanka shared. "It's a price that I'm not willing to make my kids bear. My primary goals were just to be the best freaking mum." She reflected on the pressures of her time in the White House, revealing that she hardly saw sunlight during her 4 years as a senior advisor to the president. "You become a little bit calloused. It's very dark, negative. Some people love the gladiator aspect of it, but that was never me," she admitted. Despite her desire to step away from politics, Ivanka acknowledged that her time in the White House was a period of significant personal growth. "It was a time of extraordinary personal growth for me and learning," she said, adding that it allowed her to break free from the bubble of her life in Manhattan. Although Ivanka is firm in her decision not to return to politics, she still expressed admiration for her father's renewed energy and enthusiasm. "He's got so much energy and support and excitement," she noted. "I think the 4 years has really allowed him to calibrate how he wants to spend this next 4 years, and he's incredibly excited and enthusiastic." Ivanka Trump is no stranger to the high society scene, boasting a circle of friends that includes a variety of celebrities. The 43-year-old socialite has a penchant for glamorous soirees in Washington, D.C. and New York City, rubbing elbows with A-listers across the political spectrum. From facilitating Kim Kardashian's groundbreaking meeting with President Trump in 2018 to discuss criminal justice reform to enjoying courtside seats with Karlie Kloss at the US Open, Ivanka's life blends celebrity culture and politics in a fascinating way. When her father first ran for office in 2017, the Trump family faced pushback from many prominent figures and were excluded from major events like the Met Gala due to political differences. However, Ivanka has since built a close-knit group of loyal friends and maintains friendships with numerous big names in Hollywood today. Hello takes a closer look at the glamorous world of the first daughter's inner circle. Ivanka and Kim's friendship hit the spotlight when Ivanka and her husband, Jared Kushner, supported the reality star's visit to the White House in 2018 to advocate for criminal justice reform. Their bond goes back even further, however, to May 2014, when they had a chat at the Met Gala. Ivanka later shared with People that they had a new mom conversation during fashion's biggest event. Ivanka also attended Kim's 43rd birthday party at Funka in Beverly Hills, with Kim sharing a carousel of photos from the night, including one of the two together. Kim captioned the post, "So blessed to have hit the jackpot of friends." Ivanka reciprocated the love on Instagram during her own 42nd birthday, with Kim sharing a sweet tribute, calling her the most thoughtful, sweetest soul. Ivanka and Karlie Kloss are not only friends but also family. Both women are married to Kushner brothers, Ivanka to Jared and Karlie to Joshua. The pair has been spotted together at the US Open and vacationing on luxury yachts. They also share a close friendship with notable figures like Zhukova, wife of Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich, and Wendy Deng, the former wife of Rupert Murdoch. It was Wendy who reportedly helped reconcile Ivanka and Jared after a split in 2000. The friendship between Ivanka and actor Hugh Jackman may seem unexpected, but it traces back to Wendy Deng, who is close to both Ivanka and Hugh. In a 2018 interview with The View, Hugh defended his friendship with Ivanka, saying, "Whether you agree with the politics or not, do you just dump your friends? No, you don't." Despite his political differences with the Trump family, Hugh performed at Hillary Clinton's fundraising event during her campaign. Ivanka and Wendy have a long-standing friendship, often sharing tropical getaways and moments of support for one another on social media. Wendy has been open about their bond, explaining in an interview with The Guardian that she's not running for office and has been friends with Ivanka for many years. Wendy even hosted a farewell party for Ivanka when she moved from New York to DC and attended the 2017 inauguration. Despite Taylor Swift's famously neutral political stance, the pop star posed for a selfie with Ivanka and Marissa Mayer at the 2014 Met Gala, which Ivanka described as a flawless moment with two of the most beautiful, intelligent, and charming women. No one exemplifies naughty's glam quite like Ivanka, who was once spotted partying alongside Paris Hilton at a Saint Tropez VIP room in leopard print. The two were even lip-syncing to Paris's hit Stars Are Blind, according to Cosmopolitan. Ivanka also shares a quiet but genuine friendship with actress Natalie Portman, a relationship that became apparent when Natalie attended Ivanka and Jared's 2009 wedding, and Ivanka returned the favor by attending Natalie's wedding in 2012. Though Natalie publicly supported Hillary Clinton during the 2017 campaign, their personal connection remains intact. Ivanka Trump utilized funds from the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, to purchase recording equipment for a White House event, according to documents from the agency. This revelation comes at a time when USAID is facing heightened scrutiny. Discussions are ongoing about potentially shutting down or drastically restructuring the agency's budget, which has brought increased attention to how it allocated its funds, particularly during the Trump administration. The news also coincides with the Trump administration's broader efforts to eliminate diversity, equality, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives across the federal government. On his first day in office, Trump signed an executive order to dismantle federal diversity programs, and Republicans have criticized USAID's spending on DEI efforts as wasteful. The documents show that Ivanka Trump used more than $11,000 in USAID funds in 2019 to purchase video recording equipment, software, and other media materials for a White House event. Specifically, $11,139 was spent in November 2019 on video-related items like software, CDs, tapes, and records. The purchase was approved by Jennifer Healy, who was serving as USAID's Deputy Chief of Staff at the time, as well as the Administrator's Office. The specific event for which the equipment was intended is not mentioned in the documents. This comes as the Trump administration moves forward with plans to significantly reduce USAID's operations. On Tuesday, the administration announced that most USAID workers would be withdrawn from the field as part of these efforts. In the following days, the White House released a list of foreign aid programs it considers wasteful, which includes a $20 million investment in a new Sesame Street show in Iraq, and millions of dollars allocated to LGBTQ+ advocacy programs in countries such as Uganda and Jamaica, where LGBTQ+ rights are severely restricted. Uganda, for example, has some of the strictest anti-gay laws in the world, including the death penalty for certain offences. Other programs cited by the administration include $6 million for tourism promotion in Egypt, more than $19 million for inclusion efforts in Vietnam, and $5 million for Eco Health Alliance, which has been involved in bat virus research linked to the Wuhan lab. The White House stated, "For decades, USAID bureaucrats believed they were accountable to no one, but that era is over," emphasizing President Trump's push to end what they referred to as waste, fraud, and abuse. On Tuesday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt criticized USAID for spending $1.5 million on advancing DEI in Serbia workplaces, $70,000 on a DEI musical in Ireland, and $32,000 on a transgender comic book in Peru. She also mentioned the $47,000 spent on transgender opera in Colombia, referring to the 2022 production of As One, a chamber opera about the personal journey of a transgender woman. Notably, some $25,000 of that funding came from a State Department program designed to strengthen U.S. relations globally, while the remaining $22,000 came from non-federal sources, according to Notice, a publication of the All Britain Journalism Institute. Though Republicans criticize such programs as wasteful, they represent a small portion of federal spending. In fiscal year 2023, USAID's budget of $43.4 billion accounted for just 0.7% of the total, $6.134 trillion federal budget, according to the Congressional Research Service and former Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. A significant portion of USAID's funding is allocated to organizations like the World Food Programme, UNICEF, and non-governmental organizations such as Save the Children, rather than to diversity-focused initiatives. In a recent X Spaces stream, Elon Musk shared that Trump agreed with him on the idea of shutting down USAID. "I actually checked with him a few times, said, 'Are you sure?' 'Yes, so we're shutting it down,' Musk stated. Democrats have pushed back, arguing that such an action would be illegal. Trump, speaking to reporters on Sunday, remarked, "USAID has been run by a bunch of radical lunatics, and we're getting them out, then we'll make a decision." Musk, further commenting on USAID, said, As we dug into USAID, it became apparent that what we have here is not an apple with a worm in it, but actually just a ball of worms. He continued, USAID is a ball of worms, there is no apple. And when there is no apple, you've just got to basically get rid of the whole thing. That's why it's got to go. It's beyond repair. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt echoed Musk's sentiments, telling reporters, I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going toward this crap. And I know the American people don't either. That's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do. Get the fraud, waste and abuse out of the federal government. In response, Senator Cory Booker, a Democrat from New Jersey, took to X, criticizing Trump and Musk for their efforts to dismantle USAID. Trump and Musk are recklessly and illegally dismantling USAID, an essential national security agency that saves lives, advances US interests, and promotes peace. Their malicious actions are putting the health of people, especially children, at grave risk and will surely lead to future public health and migration crises in the US, as well as suffering around the globe. Senator Chris Murphy, a Democrat from Connecticut, also voiced opposition on X, writing, Trump cannot unilaterally close a federal agency. It's not only a gift to our adversaries, it is plain illegal. Decisions about which programs will be cut are expected within 90 days of January the 20th. While reimbursement for approved programs will resume at the end of the review period, many programs are expected to be halted. It remains unclear if USAID will be shut down entirely. Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner are embracing their new life in Miami. The couple was photographed attending a private event in Miami Beach, both dressed stylishly for the occasion. The pair were seen strolling hand in hand down Miami Beach, laughing and sharing a moment together as they made their way to the venue, with security guards accompanying them. Jared wore a blue suit paired with a white button-up shirt and black shoes, opting for a tie-free look. Ivanka chose a black dress with gold buttons, matching the color with golden heels. She completed her look with a clutch purse and sleek straightened hair. For the evening, the couple enjoyed a night out alone, leaving their 3 children, Arabella, Theo, and Joseph, at home. Ivanka and Jared moved to Miami after Donald Trump's first term ended. Having spent 4 years in the White House, they are now settled and enjoying their life in Florida. In 2022, Ivanka announced she would not be involved in her father's presidency, at least not within the administration. I love my father very much. This time around, I am choosing to prioritize my young children and the private life we are creating as a family. I do not plan to be involved in politics, she stated at the time. Earlier this year, Ivanka expressed her decision to support her father in a different way. I love policy and impact. I hate politics, and unfortunately, the two are not separable, she shared on The Skinny Confidential. There's a darkness in that world that I don't really want to welcome into mine. I'm most looking forward to just being able to show up for him as a daughter, she added. While Ivanka Trump is now primarily known for her role in her father's administration, she was once recognized for her namesake fashion brand. Ivanka closed the brand in 2018 after joining her father's administration when he took office in 2017, but she has continued to showcase her fashion sense, sporting a range of looks from pantsuits to mini dresses over the past 8 years. Here's a look back at some of Ivanka's most memorable fashion moments, both the hits and the misses, since her father became president. Ivanka's white pantsuit was a surprising choice for her father's January 2017 inauguration. Ivanka made a striking entrance at Trump's 2017 inauguration in a white pantsuit by Oscar de la Renta. The ensemble featured slim-fitting pants paired with a tailored asymmetrical jacket, accessorized with an American flag pin. The look was elegant, though Ivanka's decision to wear a pantsuit was somewhat unexpected. Given that Hillary Clinton, Trump's 2016 presidential opponent, is famously known for her love of pantsuits, her own white suit at the inauguration making a notable appearance, it was hard not to draw comparisons between Ivanka and Clinton's looks. Ivanka and her sister Tiffany Trump also had a coordinated moment at the 2017 inauguration, further adding to the fashion buzz. She changed into a sparkly dress for the inaugural balls later that night. Ivanka swapped into a stunning ball gown by Carolina Herrera for the 2017 inaugural balls. The champagne-colored dress featured a flattering V-neckline, with the bodice, upper skirt, and semi-sheer sleeves adorned in shimmering embellishments. Elegant and festive, the gown was a perfect choice for the momentous occasion. Ivanka's dress for a February 2017 joint session of Congress looked out of place. Ivanka attended the joint session of Congress wearing a form-fitting berry pink Roland Mouret dress. The knee-length dress featured a diagonal peplum across the waist and an asymmetrical neckline with a black spaghetti strap on one shoulder. The strap, which resembled a bra strap more than a design element, made the look feel slightly too casual for the formal occasion. Additionally, her choice of closed-toed heels felt a bit clunky, paired with the sleek, slim-fitting dress. The sleeves on Ivanka's dress for the July 2017 G20 summit were distracting. Ivanka's pink dress for the 2017 G20 summit featured a cinched waist and a flared skirt that hit just above her knees. The long sleeves were form-fitting until they reached the elbows, where they flared out, each adorned with a bow. While the rest of the dress exuded chic sophistication, the heavy, flared sleeves with bows seemed to overwhelm the design. A more streamlined sleeve would have enhanced the overall elegance of the look. The stripes on Ivanka's dress for the 2018 Winter Olympics were overwhelming to the eye. Ivanka attended the 2018 curling men's gold medal game in South Korea wearing a red and navy aquazura sweater dress. The dress featured long sleeves, a high neckline, and diagonal stripes that wrapped around her figure. She paired the look with knee-high laced boots. While the dress was fitting for the event, the crisscrossing stripes felt a bit overwhelming. The overall look would have been stronger with more subtle or simpler stripes. She wore a more casual look to watch a bobsleigh competition. When she watched the bobsleigh competition, Ivanka fit right in with Team USA. She paired red pants with a white, red and blue sweater and accessorized the look with a coordinating coat and a Team USA hat. A green jumpsuit Ivanka wore in March 2018 would have looked better without a top under it. Ivanka wore a flared jumpsuit to the Generation Next Summit in March 2018. It had a V neckline and belted at the waist, creating a summery look. However, Ivanka wore a black turtleneck under it, which had a different tone and looked out of place with the jumpsuit. She could have paired the jumpsuit with a blazer or crop jacket instead. An asymmetrical neckline on a dark blue dress Ivanka wore in April 2018 elevated the look. Ivanka wore an elegant Oscar de la Renta dress to the White House in April 2018 to welcome French Prime Minister Emmanuel Macron. The midi-length dress had quarter-length sleeves and hugged Ivanka's figure. Its asymmetrical neckline was adorned with white fabric that formed a knot on one side. The dress was simple and chic. Ruffles and lace were an intense combination on a black and white dress Ivanka wore to the Team USA Awards in April 2018. Alexis Nalani designed the midi-length dress, which was white and covered in a layer of black lace. The bodice had a high neckline, and the sleeves and skirt were made of tiers of ruffles. The lace and ruffles were too much together, and Ivanka's embellished shoes didn't help tone the look down. The silhouette and fabric could have been pretty on different dresses, but together they were distracting. She wore a chic red suit to board Marine One in July 2018. Walking across the White House lawn, Ivanka wore a red fitted blazer with coordinating cropped pants. She wore red pumps with the bright look. Bold and well-tailored, the suit was a win for Ivanka. An oversized belt she wore with a white skirt set in October 2018 dated her ensemble. Ivanka wore a white top and matching skirt made of textured fabric for a White House briefing in October 2018. The top featured a subtle peplum and coordinating flared sleeves. Ivanka added a wide tote belt to her waist, which matched her pointed toe shoes. The belt was a misstep for the look, as it looked outdated with the more traditional silhouette. She could have skipped the belt or opted for a thinner version. In October 2019, Ivanka rocked a green suit. Visiting Google's offices in October 2019, Ivanka wore ankle-length green trousers with a coordinating blazer. She wore a black top underneath the jacket, which matched her pointed-toe black shoes. The look was stylish and professional. The fabric on this dress that Ivanka wore in January 2020 made the garment look clunky. Joining her father for the January 2020 White House Summit on Human Trafficking, Ivanka wore a white wrap dress made of a thick fabric. The bottom of her sleeves flared, as did the skirt, and the dress cinched at the waist with a thick bow. The choice of fabric and wrap style made the dress look more like a bathrobe than a dress. A sleeker silhouette or fabric would have made the dress more stylish. She went to an event in North Carolina in August 2020 in a floral sundress. When her father was on the campaign trail, Layla Rose designed the sundress Ivanka wore in North Carolina in August 2020. The midi dress had a high neckline and a form-fitting bodice covered in blue floral embroidery that spilled onto the flared skirt. She accessorized the look with white open-toed heels and an off-white purse, completing the summery and feminine ensemble. A trench coat and boots made for a fitting autumnal look in November 2020. Ivanka was photographed at the White House with her husband in a turtleneck, brown boots, and a tan double-breasted coat. She completed the look with sunglasses. The relaxed outfit was a nice change of pace for Ivanka, and it complemented the fall weather perfectly. She was spotted in a chic, sparkly set in October 2023. After laying low since her father left office in 2021, Ivanka appeared in an off-white, sparkly set from La Pointe at Kim Kardashian's birthday party in October 2023. The long-sleeve cropped top was slightly loose, while the high-waisted skirt was form-fitting until a thigh-high slit cup up her leg. Nude open-toed Christian Louboutin heels with curved detailing completed the festive look. The top of her dress for an event in December 2023 was too plain compared to her skirt. Ivanka attended the grand opening of Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, in a Monique Lhuillier gown. The strapless dress's bodice was black, while the form-fitting skirt was covered in reflective silver fabric. It was pretty, but the dress would have been stronger if it was completely sparkly, especially for an event in Las Vegas. Pockets were a distraction on her dress for the March 2024 Miami Open. Self-Portrait designed the tennis-inspired yellow dress Ivanka wore to the Miami Open in March 2024. The dress featured ribbed fabric, ruffled long sleeves, a flared collar, and buttons down the front. If that wasn't enough, the two sets of pockets on her waist and chest were distracting from the figure-hugging silhouette, particularly when combined with everything else the dress had going on. Without the pockets, the dress would have been a great choice for the event. Ivanka wore a stylish mini dress for a May 2024 date night. The garment's square neckline gave way to an exposed corset, adorned with subtle, sparkly embroidery. A swath of fabric cut across the short skirt, adding dimension to the look. She paired the dress with open-toed heels and a clutch, completing the sexy look. Ahead of Trump's 2025 inauguration, Ivanka wore a sand-toned coat and coordinating dress. Ivanka stepped away from her more daring looks when it came time for her father to return to the White House. Ahead of the 2025 inauguration, Ivanka wore an Oscar de la Renta coat with a matching dress. The bottom half of the camel-colored coat was embellished with three-dimensional floral appliques, which added a stylish touch to the monochromatic look. She wore another monochromatic look to the inauguration. Ivanka arrived at the 2025 inauguration in a complete hunter green outfit, a refreshing color for the ceremony that usually sees people wearing shades of red, white, or blue. Dior designed her asymmetrical blazer, pencil skirt, and coordinating beret. She wore a thin belt around her waist, which matched her black tights and pointed-toe heels. The ensemble put a high-fashion twist on familiar skirt sets that are common for the DC set. Her dress for the 2025 inaugural balls was an odd style choice. Ivanka attended the 2025 inaugural balls in a custom Givenchy gown, a recreation of the dress Hubert de Givenchy designed for Audrey Hepburn to wear in Sabrina, a rom-com released in 1954. The strapless dress, cinched at the waist, had a slim-fitted skirt that hit Ivanka above her ankles. A detached train flowed out behind her, forming a train. Black floral embellishments sat on the bodice, skirt and train, and Ivanka nodded to them with matching black gloves and shoes. She also wore over $1.1 million in diamond jewelry throughout the inauguration. Nodding to a Hollywood icon at the inaugural balls didn't make sense from a historical fashion perspective. Plus, Ivanka's choice to wear black gloves instead of white, as Hepburn did, lessened the effect of the recreation as well. She should have saved the look for another occasion. During the first term of the Trump administration, First Lady Melania Trump and President Trump's daughter, Ivanka Trump, both advocated for the work of USAID in developing countries, according to reports. However, President Donald Trump has recently referred to USAID as a tremendous fraud, accusing the agency of mishandling taxpayer funds. Melania focused on programs related to education and healthcare, while Ivanka led efforts to empower women, ABC News reported. In 2018, during her first solo international trip as First Lady, Melania praised USAID's initiatives, especially in Africa, where she highlighted their education programs and efforts to combat climate change. She emphasized the importance of American investments abroad, which she said provided economic opportunities to those nations. While visiting Egypt as First Lady, Melania expressed her commitment to the agency, stating, "We care and we want to show the world that we care, and I've partnered and am working with USAID." Ivanka too worked closely with USAID, particularly on the Women's Global Development and Prosperity Initiative, which aimed to support 50 million women in developing countries by 2025. However, more recently, the Trump administration has moved to dismantle USAID, placing many of its employees on administrative leave and criticizing the agency for alleged mismanagement. This marks a stark departure from the previous praise the agency received from the Trump family, leaving some within the foreign aid community puzzled by the sudden shift in policy and tone. A former senior USAID official expressed concern, telling ABC News, "It's very disturbing and clearly it's all politics. Until you see USAID's work firsthand, it's very difficult to understand and explain. You leave a different person." USAID is a US government agency dedicated to providing foreign aid and assistance aimed at improving lives in developing countries. Its work spans areas like education, healthcare, economic development, disaster relief, and promoting democracy. President Trump's recent criticism of USAID as a tremendous fraud stands in contrast to the support it received from his family during the early years of his administration. Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner are undoubtedly one of America's most talked-about couples. As the daughter of a former president and one of the wealthiest individuals in the country, Ivanka's personal life has always attracted attention. But it's easy to forget that before Jared Kushner, she was linked to several other notable figures. Here are 6 men who have been part of Ivanka Trump's dating history. Greg Hirsch was Ivanka's first college boyfriend. They met in Georgetown University when they were both students. Hirsch is an investment banker. They broke up in 2001, and according to an interview with Ivanka in 2007, they managed to remain friends. James and Ivanka dated for 4 years, belonging to the same social circle in New York City. James produced the 2003 documentary Born Rich, where Ivanka made a few appearances. The pair broke up in 2005. According to some rumors, Ivanka briefly dated Lance Armstrong. Yeah, that guy from the Livestrong bracelets. According to People, the pair met in 2006 during a trip Ivanka took to Los Angeles. In an interview with the Daily Beast in 2018, Topher Grace explained that he'd went on a couple of dates with Ivanka. "I wouldn't say that we dated, but I didn't do it for political reasons," said Grace. In 2007, Ivanka dated Sean Brosnan, the son of Pierce Brosnan. Despite being less popular than his father, Sean is an actor and director with several credits to his name in film and TV. Right before she met Jared, Ivanka was dating Justin Murdoch. Murdoch was the heir to Dole fruit fortune and has been romantically linked to Avril Lavigne and Lana Del Rey. Jared and Ivanka met in 2007 when they were set up by a mutual friend. Although they broke up briefly due to religious differences, in 2009 Ivanka converted to Judaism. The couple got married in 2009 in New Jersey. They have 3 kids together, Arabella, Joseph and Theodore. President Donald Trump is actively dismantling an agency once championed by his daughter and senior advisor Ivanka Trump. The U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, played a central role in Trump's agenda. And in his 2019 State of the Union address, he announced a new initiative within the agency, led by Ivanka, focused on empowering women in developing countries. As part of our commitment to improving opportunity for women everywhere, this Thursday we are launching the first ever government-wide initiative focused on economic empowerment for women in developing countries, he stated during his speech to Congress. Shortly after, in the Oval Office, Ivanka, along with top officials and women directly impacted by Usaid, were present as Trump signed a memorandum establishing the Women's Global Development and Prosperity (WGDP) initiative, calling it both a matter of national security and a tremendous step for women. However, just 6 years later, Trump has frozen nearly all foreign aid, and his administration is severely cutting back on USAID, referring to the agency as being run by radical lunatics. Staff around the world were expected to be sent home, with orders to return to the US, but a federal judge intervened, temporarily halting the decision. The administration's actions are deeply felt by those who benefited from Ivanka's work. People she gave hope to are devastated. The promise she offered has been ripped away, said a current USAID employee. Nino Zambakidze, a Georgian farmer featured at the WGP signing ceremony, described the changes as shocking, especially given the global instability. When Trump was re-elected, I thought there would be even more support for women's economic empowerment because he loved this program, she shared. Zambakidze, who successfully started a farm with US assistance after being denied by multiple lenders because of her gender, once saw Trump and Ivanka as key figures in promoting equality and peace, but now is struggling to understand the reversal of their support. Ivanka Trump, now residing in Florida and largely out of politics, did not respond to multiple inquiries regarding the administration's move to dismantle USAID. The White House also did not comment. Trump's abandonment of a program he once championed reflects a broader shift away from his initial stance on foreign aid. It aligns with his campaign promises to slash federal spending, a process now being carried out with haste by figures like tech billionaire Elon Musk. This pivot also mirrors the conservative criticism of foreign assistance outlined in Project 2025, a policy document written by Trump's allies for a potential second term. While Trump's first term included strong support for USAID, including its role in shaping national defense strategy, his new stance has left the international community reeling. Noam Unger, director of the Sustainable Development and Resilience Initiative at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, noted that Trump's first term actively used aid as a countermeasure against global rivals. The first administration's foreign policy sought to use aid strategically to advance American interests, he said. This strategy was visible during the WGDP signing ceremony, where bipartisan support for foreign aid was clear. Investing in women helps achieve greater peace and prosperity, Trump declared, highlighting the broader national security implications of the initiative. Ivanka, deeply involved in developing WGDP, worked closely with Usaid to design the initiative, leveraging the agency's global expertise to address key barriers preventing women from fully participating in the economy. The program was seen as a nonpartisan success and became one of Ivanka's signature accomplishments. Despite being rebranded under the Biden administration, the initiative continued to thrive, with USAID's initial $50 million investment growing to $300 million by its third year, according to a current USAID employee. Empowering women economically was one of the few successes coming out of that White House, said a source who worked closely with Ivanka Trump on the program. The initiative had a significant impact, reaching 12 million women in its first year. Ivanka's work and the continued success of the WGDP program remain a bright spot in her father's first term, even as the future of such initiatives is now uncertain under the current administration's deep cuts to foreign assistance. When women are economically empowered, society prospers and peace prevails, Ivanka Trump said in a video promoting the initiative. Lillian Akomo, a project manager from Uganda, was present in the Oval Office when President Trump signed the memorandum establishing WGDP. Reflecting on that moment in February 2019, Akomo told CNN she was amazed by the attention given to her work, which was part of a women-led effort to provide affordable internet to rural communities. Her project had benefited from a 2018 grant from a program spearheaded by Ivanka Trump through USAID, a precursor to WGDP. Our work is actually recognized, you know. Our efforts in northern Uganda are being acknowledged by America, by the American president, Akomo said. Providing a woman with a small amount of capital can create a huge multiplier effect. It was an opportunity to really highlight that, and I appreciated the chance to share it. The project, Akomo added, had a positive impact on thousands of people in Kenya, Namibia, Senegal, and Morocco, and it wouldn't have been possible without the USAID funding. It completely transformed the organization. It's really changed many lives, she said. After their meeting, Ivanka Trump sent Akomo a personal letter. I was deeply touched by your story and appreciated your contributions to our discussion on the importance of global women's economic empowerment as a catalyst for global peace, prosperity, and stability, Trump wrote in the letter, which Akomo has framed in her home. The White House continued to highlight the success of Ivanka Trump's initiative. After a trip to Côte d'Ivoire with then USAID Administrator Mark Green, the administration celebrated the amendment of the country's marriage law, which granted women and men equal and joint ownership of household assets, an example of the program's influence. Green, now president and CEO of the Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars, was unavailable for comment through a spokesman. His successor, John Barser, declined to speak with CNN. After Trump's first term, WGDP was relaunched as the Gender Equity and Equality Action Fund, GEEA, continuing its work with an additional $300 million in direct investments, according to a USAID staff member. As of April 2024, 55 of the program's awards were active, supporting projects related to women's land rights, closing the digital divide, advancing women's leadership in agriculture, food security, and leadership in the energy sector. More than 60 new projects were launched under GEEA, according to the USAID fact sheet. A 2024 USAID progress report, obtained by CNN, detailed the impact of GEEA, noting that its investments in women's economic security programs reached more than 686,000 individuals across 87 countries. supported more than 18,000 women in expanding their entrepreneurial and digital skills, labor rights, and employment opportunities, and helped more than 26,000 women receive legally recognized land or marine tenure rights. But on January the 27th, with Donald Trump back in power, a stop order was issued halting USAID operations, leaving the future of GEEA uncertain. Eliminating programs like GEEA, said one source who worked us closely with Ivanka Trump, makes the US weaker and puts Americans in danger ultimately. Nino Zambakidze, the Georgian farmer, remained hopeful that the president would reverse his decision, citing his past support for Ivanka's work through USAID. Once they review the various projects, I hope they'll see the positive impact they had on rural women in different countries, she said. Maybe they'll restart the programs. Ivanka Trump's youngest son, Theodore, has quickly become a viral sensation following his protective behavior toward his grandfather, Donald Trump, at the 2025 Super Bowl. The first daughter, 43, brought her 7-year-old son to the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans to watch the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Philadelphia Eagles. However, it wasn't just the game that caught attention. When a video of Theo walking on the field with Donald Trump was shared on X, formerly Twitter, people were captivated by the young boy's vigilant actions as he stayed close to his grandfather. In the video, Donald pauses to shake hands with a few people, while Theo, looking around nervously, keeps a close watch on everyone engaging with his grandfather, ensuring his safety. This behavior comes amid heightened security at this year's Super Bowl, following 2 assassination attempts during Donald Trump's presidential campaign. Many viewers online couldn't help but joke about Theo's protective demeanor, with some humorously suggesting that he might be a future Secret Service agent. "Looks like they're recruiting for the Secret Service young now," one person joked. Others commented on how Theo seemed to be on full-on bodyguard detail, while another user playfully referred to him as the youngest Secret Service agent ever. Ivanka, her son, and Donald were joined by other family members at the game, including Eric Trump and his wife, Lara Trump, as well as Donald Trump Jr. and his girlfriend, Bettina Anderson. Donald Trump made history as the first sitting president to attend a Super Bowl. He walked onto the field before the game, shaking hands with players and local law enforcement, and posed for photos with victims' families from the New Year's Eve attack on Bourbon Street and first responders. The president then took his seat, mingling with New Orleans Saints owner Gail Benson and NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. As a fan of the Chiefs, Donald expressed his excitement about the game, saying, "At the same time, Philadelphia is fantastic. It's going to be just a great game." He also shared his admiration for Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes and his wife Brittany, who, according to Trump, is a fan of his. This event comes after the Philadelphia Eagles' refusal to visit the White House in 2018 following their Super Bowl victory. Ivanka Trump had a Super Bowl Sunday like no other, attending the iconic event in New Orleans with her youngest son, Theo. The pair enjoyed the game alongside Donald Trump, sharing updates throughout the day with their followers. Ivanka posted photos and videos from their seats at the Caesars Superdome, capturing their excitement for the big game. She gave followers a peek into their preparations, posting a photo of Theo on the football field. "Theo gearing up for tonight's big game by showing off his wheels," she wrote, showing him tackling another boy in the game, quarterback keeper to the house. As the evening unfolded, Ivanka continued sharing moments at the Superdome, including selfies with Theo, who clearly loves sports. She also posted sweet shots of Theo bonding with his grandfather. Trump donned a suit with a red tie, while Theo sported khaki pants and a bright green sweater, reflecting the colors of the teams playing, the red Kansas City Chiefs and the green Philadelphia Eagles. One post showed Ivanka and Theo walking backstage at the Superdome, with Trump leading the way and Secret Service members flanking them. Theo, taking in the scene, walked alongside his grandfather. Later, Ivanka shared that while Theo was excited to be part of the action, he was also worn out by the end of the event, which lasted around 4 hours. "Passed out in the beast. Theo left it all on the field," Ivanka captioned a photo of Theo asleep in the Secret Service vehicle, adding a heart and kissy face emoji. Ivanka had also shared her fashionable look earlier in the week, donning a camel-coloured Oscar de la Renta coat with 3D floral appliques over a mock turtleneck. She completed her outfit with black patent leather-capped boots and burgundy gloves. In another appearance, she was seen in a green double-breasted suit by Gabriella Hearst, paired with a black top, diamond necklace, gold earrings, and cat-eye Celine sunglasses. Super Bowl Elvet was a star-studded affair, with a celebrity-packed crowd that included Taylor Swift, who was there to support Travis Kelce, as well as Ice Spice, Jay-Z, Blue Ivy, Rumi Carter, Jill Biden, Bradley Cooper, Paul Rudd, Kevin Costner, Pete Davidson, Jon Hamm, and many more. President Donald Trump's administration is moving to dismantle the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, the very agency that his wife and daughter championed just a few years ago. The president has threatened to eliminate USAID, an agency that provides humanitarian aid globally. Earlier this week, Elon Musk, head of the Department of Government Efficiency and Trump's first buddy, targeted the agency, calling it a criminal organization and adding, "Time for it to die." In response, the White House announced Friday that it plans to retain just over 600 of the agency's 10,000 employees, slightly more than the 300 originally slated to remain. These recent developments sharply contrast with Melania and Ivanka Trump's actions during the president's first term, as reported by ABC News. In the fall of 2018, Melania Trump embarked on a solo trip to 4 African nations: Egypt, Ghana, Malawi, and Kenya. When announcing her trip, she highlighted her collaboration with USAID, saying, "There are many programs across the country that are doing great things for children, and I believe we can replicate many of these programs overseas. This is why I am pleased to be working closely with USAID as I prepare for my first major international trip to Africa." While in Egypt, Melania thanked President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for hosting her and praised USAID's work. She spoke about the preservation efforts at the base of the Sphinx, saying, "We must always do our best to preserve such important historical sites, and I was so pleased to learn of the work that USAID has done to help with preservation efforts." In Malawi, she visited a school supported by USAID where she met teachers, students, and parents. She oversaw the donation of soccer balls, classroom supplies, and 1.4 million textbooks. Melania also spoke about the importance of educating and empowering youth, praising USAID's ongoing efforts to increase access to education in the country. It's uncertain what role USAID will play in Africa moving forward, as plans showed only 12 people were slated to remain in the region. In 2019, Ivanka Trump, then a senior advisor, led the Women's Global Development and Prosperity Initiative, aimed at empowering 50 million women in developing countries by 2025. She directed USAID to allocate $50 million to support the initiative. At the time, Ivanka told ABC News, "We know there's a correlation between gender inequality and conflict. It's in our domestic security interests to empower women." However, a White House memo this week criticized USAID, stating that for decades it had been unaccountable to taxpayers and accused it of funneling money into ridiculous and, in many cases, malicious pet projects of entrenched bureaucrats. The memo also declared that under President Trump, waste, fraud, and abuse ends now. When asked about the shift, a White House spokesperson placed the blame on the previous administration, saying Joe Biden enabled millions of dollars in waste, fraud, and abuse at USAID and across the federal bureaucracy. President Trump was given a mandate to cut spending that does not effectively use taxpayer dollars or align with the America First agenda, and he is delivering. Ivanka Trump is embracing this new chapter in her life, focusing on her family and enjoying time with her kids while making the most of her life in both Florida and Washington, D.C. The former first daughter often takes time out of her busy schedule to enjoy meaningful moments with her children. Recently, Ivanka shared a special memory with her daughter Arabella from her father Donald Trump's presidential inauguration. This Valentine's Day, Ivanka shared a sweet tribute to Arabella, posting a photo of the two of them in matching red outfits. The mother-daughter duo flashed big smiles, wearing red coats and black boots, radiating warmth and joy. Ivanka has been candid about her relationship with Arabella and how she and her husband, Jared Kushner, raise their children. She once shared, "It's crucial to me to teach Arabella that confidence, strength, and grace are what truly make a woman beautiful." Reflecting on her daughter's impact on her life, Ivanka has said, "This sweet little girl has taught me to love harder, listen better, laugh louder, and be grateful every single day." In July 2024, she also celebrated Arabella's birthday with a heartfelt message on Instagram. "Arabella, you inspire and amaze me every day. You are a remarkable young woman, and my heart overflows with love for you. Happy birthday." Ivanka has been active on social media recently, sharing a photo of herself in a stylish white dress paired with metallic open-toe heels. She posed in front of a vibrant mural by Spanish-Mexican artist Rafael Uriega, with her blonde hair styled in loose waves and a soft glam makeup look. Ivanka kept her accessories minimal, adding only a large diamond ring to complete her outfit. Ivanka couldn't make it, Don Jr. told Jost, but Tiffany, played by Chloe Fineman, their other sister, was in attendance. Eric immediately seemed puzzled. "Don, who is that lady?" he asked his brother. "That's your sister, Eric," Don Jr. replied, before Eric accidentally called her not Vanka. "Don't call her that," Don Jr. snapped, but Tiffany, unfazed, shrugged and said, "It's okay, Dad does it." The humor in the moment wasn't entirely without basis. Tiffany Trump, Donald's 27-year-old daughter from his second marriage to Marla Maples, has never quite captured his attention the way Ivanka has. Recently, Tiffany has joined her siblings on the campaign trail for her father's re-election, even hosting a widely mocked LGBTQ event in Tampa, Florida. No matter how enthusiastic and energetic she is, the public still tends to view her as the forgotten Trump child. Her family doesn't exactly help her cause. Earlier this month, Donald forgot to wish her a happy birthday, but did remember to send birthday wishes to the US Navy. Ivanka also made a mistake by tagging the wrong Tiffany in a birthday tweet. This has been an ongoing narrative. In 2018, at an event in Ohio, Donald Trump was lecturing a crowd of workers about how great he was when he paused to mention some special guests. "Speaking of a job well done," he said, "we have two of my daughters here today." The crowd likely wondered who he was referring to. They, like the rest of the world, knew Ivanka. His daughter, who served as his advisor, acted as the de facto First Lady and was famously said to be someone he'd date if she weren't his daughter. They began to applaud at the mention of her name. Then, suddenly, Trump remembered something. "And Tiffany," he added, almost as an afterthought. The story of the two Trump sisters, Ivanka, 37, and Tiffany, 25, is an interesting one. Ivanka was raised in New York with her father's wealth and influence, while Tiffany grew up in California, mostly away from him. One had a jewelry line, the other was named after a jewelry brand. Ivanka markets herself as a self-made businesswoman and diplomat, while Tiffany has embraced the role of the classic billionaire's daughter. One is close friends with Chelsea Clinton, the other with Lindsay Lohan. Ivanka was front and center during their father's first presidential campaign, while Tiffany seemed almost invisible, relegated to the periphery. As Trump and his family hope for another 4 years in the White House, let's take a closer look at the two very different sisters, Ivanka and Tiffany. Asking whether Donald has a favorite daughter is like asking whether Fox News has a favorite political party. Just listen to him. "Let me tell you one thing," Donald once said in an interview. "Ivanka is a great, great beauty. Every guy in the country wants to go out with my daughter." After a pause, he added, "You know, I have another daughter with Marla named Tiffany. She's also a beautiful, great kid, but it's very separate. When you have separate wives, it's sort of separate." Years later, on Election Day in 2016, he mentioned being proud of Tiffany, but to a lesser extent than his other children. How charming. If there's a reason Donald Trump doesn't seem as close with Tiffany as he is with Ivanka, it might stem from the fact that for much of Tiffany's childhood, they were about 3,000 miles apart. Donald and Tiffany's mother, actress Marla Maples, separated when Tiffany was 4, and they divorced by the time she was 6. After that, Tiffany moved from New York to California to live with Maples, visiting her father and siblings mostly during spring breaks at Mar-a-Lago, the hotel he owns in Florida. On the other hand, Ivanka was only 10 when Donald and her mother, Ivana Trump, divorced. However, Ivanka stayed in New York with her father and brothers, Don Jr. and Eric, living just an elevator ride away in Trump Tower. At one point, it seemed like Tiffany might follow her mother into show business. In her final year of school in 2011, she released a pop song called "Like a Bird," though the lyrics, "Diamonds are so shiny, special things I got on me," didn't quite earn her a spot in music history. Ultimately, Tiffany shifted focus, enrolling at the University of Pennsylvania closer to her father and half-siblings. There, she earned a double major in sociology and urban studies. She later interned at Vogue and an eyewear company before heading to Georgetown Law School in Washington, D.C. Ivanka, meanwhile, had a more glamorous upbringing. One standout memory was when her father arranged for Michael Jackson to watch her perform in the Nutcracker. Ivanka started at an exclusive girls' school in Manhattan before transferring to a prestigious boarding school in Connecticut, which she described as a prison. She then attended Georgetown University before finishing her studies at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, where her father and brother Don Jr. also attended. Ivanka went on to model, and her business career, however much it was influenced by her father, blossomed. Ivanka has been married to Jared Kushner, the seemingly quiet businessman who now works as a senior advisor to Donald, for 11 years. Before him, she was romantically linked to several public figures, including Lance Armstrong and Topher Grace, and even dated a man named Bingo Goobleman. Tiffany, on the other hand, has had her share of relationships too. Last year, she was spotted in London with her boyfriend Michael Boulos, a finance student with Lebanese and French roots, who was born in Texas but raised in Nigeria. Something her father may or may not have had in mind when he reportedly made controversial comments about parts of Africa. Prior to Boulos, Tiffany dated Ross Mechanic, though they broke up 2 years ago. Tiffany's Instagram used to feature photos from her partying with the Snap Pack, a group of wealthy young heirs and models, including Kyra Kennedy, daughter of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and Barron Hilton, brother of Paris Hilton. She is also friends with Lindsay Lohan, whom Tiffany's father once commented on with a now infamous remark, and with actress Abigail Breslin. Ivanka has had her own group of famous friends, including Chelsea Clinton, whom she reportedly met through her husband. Ivanka and Jared are also close with Hugh Jackman and attended his 50th birthday party, and Ivanka is said to be friendly with Wendy Deng, former wife of Rupert Murdoch. In her book The Trump Card, Playing to Win in Work and Life, Ivanka writes one small anecdote about Tiffany, how Tiffany asked Ivanka for advice on how to ask their father for a credit card. All she wanted, really, was a way to enjoy some of the privileges her friends got to enjoy, Ivanka recalled. In the end, Ivanka suggested their father surprise Tiffany with a credit card for Christmas, with a small monthly allowance. Sure enough, Donald followed through. The lesson of this story is unclear, but it does illustrate the bond the sisters share. Tiffany posts photos of herself with Ivanka's children, and Ivanka often refers to Tiffany as "my little sister" and says she's always been close to her and loves her dearly. It's safe to say that there's no reason to doubt their relationship, at least not now. Ivanka Trump may have subtly hinted at a strained relationship with her father, President Donald Trump, in a recent social media post. Once a senior member of the Trump administration and reportedly having a tense dynamic with her stepmother, Melania Trump, Ivanka reflected on her decision to step away from politics in 2022 during a recent interview. She described the decision as easy, emphasizing that it was in line with her core values. The fitness enthusiast, who has previously shared details of her pristine gym in her $24 million Miami mansion, shared a post on her Instagram stories Sunday that could suggest her personal priorities. The post, originally from the Build Alpha page, read, "The two people that matter the most." It continued, "There are only two people whose pride should truly matter to you, not your parents, not your friends, not even your mentors. Just two, the 8-year-old full of dreams and the 80-year-old you full of memories. Both are watching you now." Ivanka commented, "Great thread," when resharing the post, according to the Irish Star. From 2017 to 2022, Ivanka advised her father, but now she prioritizes providing emotional support over political involvement. In a recent interview with the Skinny Confidential podcast, she expressed, "I'm most looking forward to just being able to show up for him as a daughter and be there for him, to take his mind off things, like watch a movie with him or watch a sports game, to know that he can be with me and be himself and just relax." The 43-year-old mother of three also admitted that she hates politics, describing it as a dark world. During her father's presidency, Ivanka focused on initiatives related to entrepreneurship, workforce development, and education, with an emphasis on economic empowerment for women and families. While Ivanka handled domestic issues, her husband, Jared Kushner, tackled both global and domestic matters as a key advisor to President Trump.